Welcome to another episode of Solitaire Quest. I'm the Blood Knight of the Old Republic of Bloodganistan. Like, share, and subscribe. So, yeah. Right now, at this moment, at this time, I am talking about Generation Z. I'm a millennial, folks. If you didn't know that for certain, you do now. You do know now. I'm a millennial. It's like I grew up. I got to experience the evolution of the technology from your big, thick computers, from the big, thick computers with the floppy drives. I experienced that to like all the way to the modern stuff, folks. It's like I've experienced the evolution of modern technology. Wasn't there for its inception. Well, wasn't there for the inception of all these technologies. But yeah, I lived through the 2000s. And I got to see the development of technology. And yeah, I've experienced Windows 95, folks. I have experienced Windows 95 way back in the day. Think about those computers, folks. So they were probably built to last. Better than modern technology, I'll tell you that for much. So yeah, it's like I got to see the technology evolve. It's like Gen Z, they were thrown right in. They were thrown in. It's like they didn't get, they got thrown right into it, into modern technology. And yeah, term brain rot, well, it's like you grow up on the technology, and yeah, it is what it is. It's what happens. And that's what's happening with Gen Alpha. They're experiencing something. Yeah, they're experiencing the full power of modern technology, folks. It's being blasted right into them. It's like they don't fucking stand a chance. You know, it's like Gen Z fucking gets a bad rap. You know, as a millennial, it's like the crop of kids I've worked with. They're a good group of people. I like them. Ones I've met, very based. Very based, folks. Ones I've met. And yeah, been watching all these videos on YouTube of people struggling, and yeah, I'm struggling too, folks. My own ways, with my own demons. It's like I had my own apartment and I lost it due to fucking Southerners. And this is an event, but this is just me commenting on Gen Z. It's like Gen Z, they get a bad rap, folks. It's like people say Gen Z, they don't want to work. Thing is, Gen Z, it's like in order to get into the it's like in order to get a job that pays well, it's like they have to fucking get into a whole shit. We have to get into a whole shitload of debt. And it's like you just living paycheck to paycheck. At the very razor's edge, you're probably they're living in like in like shared roommate housing situations, you know? And it's tough. Oh boy, is it tough. Folks. Me personally, it's like, I read this quote. It's like, the boomers, they were trained for austerity and inherited paradise. It's like the Gen Z. It's like they were trained in abundance. They were trained in abundance and are handed a dystopia. You know. It's like, yeah, a whole host of issues that's happening. And you wonder why the younger generations, they want to try some of this communist shit. You know? You wonder why, folks. It's like a whole bunch of shit in this world is broken. Here, I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get me some Chat GPT. Here. I'm gonna ask Chat GPT on my phone. How much is $1 from dollar Canadian from early 70s worth in today's money. So yeah, $100 in 1970. Here, I'll let ChatGPT explain.
A Canadian dollar from the early 1970s has significantly decreased in purchasing power due to inflation. For instance, $1 in 1970 is equivalent to approximately $7.96 in 2025, reflecting a cumulative price increase of about 695.74% over 55 years. This means that today's prices are nearly 8 times higher than average prices in 1970. Cite at and search 1. Similarly, $100 in 1970 is equivalent to about $795.74 today, indicating that the Canadian dollar has lost 87% of its value since 1970. Cite and search 2. These figures illustrate the impact of inflation on the Canadian dollar's value over the past 5 decades.
Yeah, folks. Yeah, I hope this is a message. Brilliant, folks. Oh man. Oh god. Damn, that bad. God damn. So yeah, roughly $1 in 1970 is worth $8 in today's in today's economy. So yeah, if you had a loonie in if you had a loonie from the 1970s, you brought it to the future, it would suddenly become almost $8. Yeah. You wonder why you wonder why yeah, you wonder why you just wonder why the younger generation doesn't want to work. You just wonder why. Oh man. Oh damn, it's that bad, folks. Fucking that bad. Oh, you wonder why the younger generation doesn't want to work. It's like, yeah. Yeah. Our world, the economy is fucked, folks. That's why the young folks don't want to work. Me personally, as a millennial, it's like I want to work, but it's like fuck going to college or going to university. It's like fuck that. Fuck that noise. So yeah. Let's ask Chat GPT what was minimum wage in 1970s Canada. So yeah. So yeah, minimum wage.
In 1970, minimum wage rates in Canada varied by province. For example, in Newfoundland and Labrador, the minimum wage was $1.25 per hour as of July 1st, 1970. Side turn search 8. By 1975, the minimum wage in Canada averaged around 2.20 cents per hour. Side turn search 2. These rates reflect the provincial differences in minimum wage legislation during that period.
So, how much is 2.20 in today's money? So yeah. $2.20 in 1975 would be approximately 17.51
The equivalent of $2.20 in 1975 would be approximately $17.50 in today's money, 2025.
Yeah, the minimum wage in Canada, in Ontario, is $16 an hour. Functionally, we are making less than minimum wage. We are making, for minimum wage, we're making less. Adjusted for inflation, we are making less than what they made. We're being paid less than what we're being paid less, folks. Adjusted for inflation. Folks, we're being paid less. Less than minimum wage, adjusted for inflation in 1970s money. Yeah. Yeah, folks. Ain't that... Yeah, you wonder why the younger generations want to try out the communism. And you wonder why... You wonder why they don't want to work, and you wonder why they want to try out some communism, folks. You just wonder why. Fucking Christ. Oh man, that is that bad. That is that bad. That is that bad. I knew it was bad, folks. I knew it was bad, but it's like fucking that bad to hear it. Oh, just puts things in perspective. Just puts things in perspective. The crazy part in all of that, though, is that minimum wage back then, you could probably live comfortably on minimum wage back in the past. You probably live comfortably. You'd be struggling. You probably I don't know. Let's just ask. Would you be struggling on $2.20 minimum wage, full minimum? Would you be struggling on $2.20 minimum wage? 5 8-hour shifts. Yeah, let's...
To evaluate whether someone would struggle on a minimum wage of $2.20 an hour in 1970, working 5 8-hour shifts a week, we need to consider the weekly earnings, annual income, and the cost of living at that time. Weekly and annual earnings. Hourly wage, $2.20. Weekly hours, 40. 5 days, 8 hours. Weekly earnings, $2.88. Annual earnings, assuming 52 weeks, $88.52 equals $4,576. Cost of living in 1970. While living costs varied by location and lifestyle, here's an approximate breakdown of key expenses in 1970. Rent. A typical monthly rent was around $100 to $150 in urban areas.
I'm gonna abuse the shit out of it.
A week's worth of groceries for a small family might cost $15 to $25. Gasoline. Prices averaged $35 a gallon. Utilities and other costs, likely under $50 a month. Luck. Could you struggle? 1. Basic necessities. If rent was $125 per month and groceries were $100 a month, the total would be $225. Add utilities and other costs, $50, and monthly expenses would be about $75. 2. Monthly income versus expenses. Monthly income, $88 for 352s. After basic expenses, $352, $275.77 left over. 3. Discretionary spending and savings. $77 a month is a modest cushion, which could cover additional expenses or savings. Conclusion. While $2.20 space hour could provide a modest living for a single individual in 1970, it would likely be challenging to support a family or handle unexpected expenses. People living on minimum wage would need to be frugal and might struggle in areas with higher costs of living.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. How much is $77 in today's money?
$77 in 1970 would be equivalent to approximately $612.09 in today's money, 2025.
So yeah. So after expenses, after rent, after food and utilities, in today's money, $77 from the 1970s, it'd be roughly the equivalent to 600. It's equivalent to $612 a month, just in savings, folks. That you save, folks. Yeah. Just in savings. That's insane. And yeah, you wonder why. You wonder why the younger generations don't want to work. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, post a comment, folks. Want to hear ya. I'm the Blood Knight of the Old Republic of Bloodganistan. Like, share, and subscribe.